Have you ever watched how a single drop of ink can cloud a whole glass of water? That's what a single thought can do to the mind. 1 minute, everything feels calm, and the next, you're caught in a whirlwind of fear, regret, and imagined outcomes. We often think it's life that causes our suffering, but in truth, it's the mind's interpretation, the stories we tell ourselves, that stir the storm. But here's the quiet truth. Your mind isn't your enemy. It's simply untamed. Like a river with no banks, it rushes in every direction until we learn how to guide it. And once you do, once you learn to sit with it, understand it, and gently lead it, no external chaos can shake your inner peace. Monks don't live in stillness because life is easier for them. They live in peace because they've mastered the inner terrain. Their strength comes not from escaping difficulty, but from facing it with a silent mind, one that doesn't flinch. What you're about to discover isn't an escape from the world. It's a way of standing in the middle of it all, unmoved, with a mind that no longer reacts, but simply sees. The mind is the starting point of everything. In Buddhist thought, the mind isn't just a part of your experience. It is the canvas on which your entire life is painted. Every feeling you've ever had, every action you've taken, began as a thought. And those thoughts, they're the architects of your reality. The Buddha once taught that our lives are shaped by the thoughts we carry. If those thoughts are rooted in fear, anger, or anxiety, the world will seem like a battlefield. But when your thinking is grounded in stillness and compassion, life, even in chaos, feels manageable. Ever wonder why two people can face the same challenge, yet respond so differently? One reacts with panic, the other with grace. The situation is the same, but the mindset is not. A mind in turmoil will magnify even small problems into overwhelming ones. But a calm mind, it turns obstacles into opportunities for growth. This is why in Buddhism, the focus isn't on controlling the outer world, it's on mastering the inner one. Buddhists don't seek to eliminate every wave of change. They learn to ride those waves without drowning. It's not about achieving perfection outside, but building peace inside. The first step? Awareness. Just pause. Inhale deeply. Feel the weight of your body grounded to the earth. Return to this moment. Not the regrets behind you or the fears ahead, but this single breath, right now. In that space of awareness, something powerful happens. You begin to see that you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. This shift gives you freedom. You don't have to follow every fearful story your mind spins. You can choose a different path, one of clarity, of stillness, of trust. So don't exhaust yourself trying to fix the external world. Focus instead on training the mind. Like a muscle, it gets stronger with daily attention, and with patience and practice, that calm becomes your natural state. Then, even when life gets noisy, you'll carry silence within. And that silence, that's where your strength lives. Second, release what was never yours to control. Imagine trying to hold the wind in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips away. That's what it's like when we try to control life. You try to shape how others behave, predict the future, or prevent imagined disasters, and in the process, you wear yourself down. This constant effort to micromanage reality doesn't create peace, it creates pressure. And while it may come from a place of love or fear, the result is the same: anxiety, fatigue, and emotional chaos. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism is this: everything changes, people leave, plans fall apart, emotions rise and fade. The mind itself shifts from joy to sorrow, from clarity to confusion, like weather passing through the sky. So when we cling to things as if they're unchangeable, we suffer. Worry is often your mind trying to hold on to a sense of control, a desperate attempt to feel safe in a world that guarantees nothing. But here's the truth. Most things are simply not up to you. You can't control someone else's feelings. You can't predict every outcome. You can't even fully control your own thoughts without training. But what you can control is how you respond. You can choose your attitude. You can choose your presence. You can choose to be rooted in balance even when the world feels unsteady. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop gripping life so tightly that it hurts. You act with intention, but you release your attachment to how things must unfold. Try asking yourself this gentle question: is this mine to carry? If not, let it fall. If it is, tend to it with care, and then let the outcome go. Picture holding a burning rope. The longer you hold on, the deeper the pain. But the moment you release it, healing begins. That's the gift of surrender. Buddhism isn't about controlling the storm. It's about learning to rest in the center of it. So when you're hurt, let go of vengeance. When plans unravel, let go of resistance. When life surprises you, let go of the script. Because freedom isn't found in forcing life. It's found in flowing with it. On the other side of letting go, you'll find something far greater than control. A quiet, powerful peace. 3. Return to the present moment. Most of our pain doesn't come from this moment. It comes from leaving it. Your mind jumps from future fears to past regrets, dragging you through storms that don't exist right now. You replay mistakes. You imagine worst-case scenarios. And all the while, the only place peace could ever be, the present, is missed. Buddhism reminds us of a simple but life-changing truth. Now is all you ever have. The past, gone. The future, unknown. But right now, this breath, this heartbeat, this moment, is where your life is actually happening. But most of us are not fully here. We eat distracted, walk without noticing, speak without listening. Our bodies are present, but our minds are scattered like leaves in the wind. This disconnection creates restlessness and discontent. But when you return to the now, truly return, the entire experience of life changes. You begin to notice the way sunlight feels on your skin, the rhythm of your breath, the flavor of a single sip of tea. Ordinary moments become sacred, and suffering begins to soften. Presence doesn't mean every moment is pleasant. It means you meet life as it is, without judgment or escape. If you're grieving, be with the grief. If you're happy, savor it. If you're uncertain, breathe into that space. You don't need a monastery or meditation cushion. You only need this moment. Washing dishes, driving in silence, sitting with your breath. These are all doorways back to now, and here's what's profound. The moment itself is rarely as heavy as your thoughts about it. Most of the weight comes from mental noise, but in stillness, that noise fades, and what's left is simple and peaceful. So slow down, feel your feet on the earth, breathe in what is, because when you stop chasing after what was, or what might be, you arrive in what always was waiting for you. Peace, right here, in the present. 4. Be the witness, not the sponge. Observe without absorbing. Have you ever walked into a chaotic room and, without meaning to, walked out carrying all its energy with you? That's what happens when we absorb the world instead of simply observing it. In Buddhist thought, the mind is like a clear, still lake. Thoughts, emotions, external noise. These are just ripples on its surface, but the lake itself, at its core, it remains still, undisturbed. The problem is, most of us don't stay in that stillness. We leap into every ripple. We let the noise pull us under. Someone criticizes you. A plan collapses. A message hits you the wrong way, and instantly your peace evaporates. You take it personally. You carry it all day. You become the emotion instead of noticing it pass by. But here's the truth. You are not every wave that passes through your mind. You are the water beneath. You are not your anger, your frustration, your fear. You are the awareness that sees them. This is the heart of non-attachment. Not pushing feelings away, but watching them without getting caught. It's not about being numb or uncaring. It's about freedom. The freedom to witness without being owned by the moment. Think of it this way. Your mind is a sacred home. Thoughts and emotions, just visitors. Some arrive loudly, some quietly, some make you smile, others stir your sadness. But you are the host. You decide who stays, who simply passes through, and who gets no attention at all. Next time something triggers you, pause. Don't react, don't speak, just watch. Close your eyes. Name what you feel. This is frustration, this is fear, no judgment, just notice it and breathe. Like clouds drifting across the sky, emotions move when we don't chase them or hold them down. This skill doesn't make you distant, it makes you powerful. Someone might try to provoke you, but you remain grounded. Life might throw noise at you, but your silence within becomes immovable. You become the stillness inside the storm. The eye at the center of the hurricane, present, aware, untouched. When you live like this, you stop collecting emotional baggage from every passing drama. You stop reacting to every sharp word, every shifting circumstance. You simply see and let go. Remember, you are the sky, and your thoughts, your emotions, even the chaos of life, they are just the weather. Let them come, let them pass. But never forget, you are the sky, and when you stay rooted in that awareness, no one and nothing can steal your peace. 5. Repetition is power. Train your mind like a monk. Peace is not something you stumble into when life finally behaves. It's not found in a perfect day, a quiet room, or an escape from problems. True peace, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from life getting easier. It comes from your mind getting stronger. And that strength? It's built through repetition. In Buddhism, the mind is seen as a tool, brilliant but wild. Left untrained, it runs in circles. It chases fear, clings to outcomes, spirals into regrets, and creates chaos where there is none. But when you train it, patiently and consistently, it becomes your greatest ally. Just like a muscle, the mind becomes resilient with practice. It becomes calm not by accident, but by design. Think about it. No one builds physical strength by lifting weights once. No one becomes a great musician by practicing randomly. And no one finds lasting peace through a single deep breath on a stressful day. Real change happens through daily repetition, small actions done over and over that slowly reshape the way you see and respond to the world. This is why Buddhist monks wake up before sunrise and meditate every morning, not because they feel like it every time, but because they know something powerful. What you do consistently becomes who you are. So how can you start training your mind? You don't need hours of silence or a mountain temple. You just need a few minutes and a little intention. Start with this. Sit quietly each morning, even just for 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Breathe. Watch your thoughts arise and let them go without following. At first it'll feel difficult. Your mind will wander. You'll think about tasks, worries, random things. That's okay. The goal isn't to stop thinking. The goal is to notice and gently bring your attention back. That returning again and again is the training. You can also build rituals into your day. Repeat a calming phrase like, "I am here, I am calm." Pause before reacting when someone upsets you. Take 3 conscious breaths when you feel overwhelmed. Write one insight or gratitude each night. These tiny habits may seem insignificant, but repeated daily, they create new neural pathways. Over time, your reactions soften, your attention deepens, your mind learns to rest, not race. And remember, the goal is not perfection. Some days you'll forget. Other days, your mind will feel restless or noisy. That's not failure. It's part of the process. The power is in returning, again and again. Every time you come back to your breath, to the present, to your intention, you strengthen your inner stability. Let me give you a picture. Imagine two people. One meditates once a month, usually when things go wrong. The other meditates for 10 minutes every morning, no matter what. When life throws them both into a storm, who stands stronger? The one who trained for it, the one who built peace before it was needed. Because here's the truth. You don't train for peace when everything is calm. You train so that when the storm comes, you are already rooted. It's like building a shelter before the rain. So don't wait for life to quiet down. Don't wait for a vacation, for a better season, for everything to make sense. Start now, in the middle of the noise, in the middle of the pressure, in the middle of your real life. And as you stay consistent, something subtle and profound will begin to shift. You'll pause where you once panicked. You'll reflect before you react. You'll notice that the mind you used to fight with has become your friend. This is the gift of repetition. It's not flashy, it's not instant, but it's powerful. And over time, the scattered mind becomes focused. The anxious mind becomes still. And peace is no longer something you chase. It's where you live. So train your mind like a monk tends to his breath, gently, consistently, and with love. Because every time you return to calm, every time you choose stillness over reaction, you build something unshakable. And one day you'll realize you didn't find peace by accident. You built it, brick by brick, breath by breath, day by day. 6. Choose stillness over reaction. In a world that constantly provokes you, stillness is no longer just a virtue. It's a rare form of power. People will interrupt your peace. Situations will not unfold the way you planned. Expectations will be broken, and emotions will rise. But what separates those who suffer from those who stay grounded is not the storm outside. It's the silence within. Your strength is not in controlling the world, but in mastering how you respond to it. Most people live on autopilot. They don't pause to reflect. They simply react. A rude comment triggers an insult. A delay sparks frustration. A disappointment breeds self-doubt. Without realizing it, their inner world is tossed around like a boat in rough waters. They become prisoners to every emotional wave, every external trigger, every flicker of discomfort. And the irony is, they think they're expressing power, but they're actually surrendering it. Buddhism flips this thinking entirely. It teaches us that peace is not found in controlling outcomes, but in controlling our reactions. The Buddha once said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." That's the hidden cost of reactivity. Every time you lash out, panic, or overthink, it's not the world that suffers, it's your own mind that burns, and that burn leaves a scar. But stillness, that's different. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is not doing nothing. Stillness is making a conscious choice to remain centered when everything around you demands chaos. Imagine someone trying to provoke you. Maybe they criticize you unfairly, twist your words, or question your worth. Your ego jumps up, ready to defend itself. But you don't. You breathe. You feel the impulse, but you don't act on it. That single pause, so small, shifts everything. Stillness confuses people. It disrupts the usual script. When someone expects a fight and you offer peace, They are forced to confront themselves. And more importantly, you protect your peace. You no longer hand over your emotional energy like it's free. You become the one who decides what enters your mind and what doesn't. Stillness is walking away from gossip, even when you're tempted to listen. It's choosing silence over proving your point. It's taking a deep breath when your plans collapse. It's allowing others to misunderstand you without chasing after their approval. It's trusting that clarity doesn't always need to be shouted. That truth eventually reveals itself. But here's the challenge. How do you hold on to stillness in a world that feeds on reaction? You train for it, not just once, but every day, through mindful breathing, through meditation, through small, quiet choices when no one is watching. Over time, you stretch the space between trigger and response. In that space, you find wisdom, you find strength, you find freedom. You realize that you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to explain yourself to those who aren't listening. You don't have to fight battles that don't belong to you. Stillness doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being ruled by what you feel. You still get angry, but you don't let anger drive the wheel. You still feel fear, but you don't let it write your script. You acknowledge the storm, but you don't become it. That's mastery. Picture a candle in the wind. If you expose it to every gust, the flame weakens, flickers, and fades. But if you shield it, protect it, the light stays steady. Your inner peace is that flame, and stillness is the shelter that keeps it alive. So in moments of tension, ask yourself, is this reaction worth my energy? Is it helping or harming my peace? Will this even matter tomorrow? Most of the time, the answer will lead you back to stillness. And when it does, you'll notice something powerful. Your silence speaks louder than your reaction ever could. Your calm presence begins to ripple outwards, influencing others without saying a word. People start to wonder why you're so grounded. They ask how you stay so centered when the world is spinning. And the answer isn't magic. It's practice. It's awareness. It's choosing stillness, not because it's easy, but because it's right. Stillness won't make life perfect, but it will make you stronger. So next time the world pokes at your peace, don't take the bait. Pause, breathe. Choose presence over pride, silence over shouting, awareness over impulse. Because in that moment, you're not just staying calm, you're rising above. And in that space of stillness, you meet your truest self, the one the world can't shake. 7. Compassion creates inner peace. You can sit in silence for hours. You can train your breath, tame your thoughts, and master the art of focus. But if your heart is burdened with resentment, bitterness, or silent judgment, peace will remain out of reach. Because real peace doesn't just come from a quiet mind, it also comes from a gentle heart. That's why in Buddhism the journey to true inner freedom doesn't stop at discipline or meditation. It leads to one final doorway: compassion. In Buddhist wisdom, this compassion is known as metta, the act of sending loving kindness to all living beings, not only to your friends, not just to those who agree with you or make your life easier, but even to those who test your patience, disrupt your peace, or have caused you hurt. This might be the hardest lesson of all, and the one that sets you free. Why is compassion so powerful? Because anger, no matter how right it feels, becomes a prison. Resentment is like poison we carry around, hoping someone else will suffer from it. But really, it only fogs up our own thoughts. Judgment might seem like control, but it actually takes away our clarity. When we hold on to grudges, we don't harm the person who hurt us, we harm ourselves. That's why forgiveness isn't about who deserves it. It's about you deserving peace. Each time you choose compassion instead of reacting, you step out of the cycle of pain. You stop letting someone else's ignorance control your feelings. You become untouchable, not because no one tries to hurt you, but because you no longer carry their pain as your own. Let's bring this to life. Imagine someone lies about you. They talk behind your back or try to ruin your reputation. The natural reaction is to fight back, to call them out, to hold on to anger like it's your shield. But Buddhism shows us another way. What if they're in pain too? What if their harshness comes from their own inner struggles? A peaceful person doesn't try to tear others down. They don't lie, gossip, or cause harm. Only those who are hurting do. This shift in perspective doesn't excuse their actions, but it frees you from them. Because now, instead of holding their pain in your heart, you let it go. You respond with clarity. Maybe you choose to walk away. Maybe you set a firm boundary. But you don't let hatred take root inside you. Compassion isn't a weakness. It's strength. The strength to look beyond someone's actions and see the pain behind them. The wisdom to protect your peace without hardening your heart. You can say no kindly. You can end a relationship without bitterness. You can set limits without needing to hate the person you're leaving behind. But one of the most forgotten parts of compassion is this. It's not only for others, it's for you too. Many of us carry guilt. We punish ourselves over things we can't change. We replay moments we wish we had done differently. But here's the truth. Inner peace doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from forgiving yourself, from giving yourself the same kindness you'd give to a friend. That's why Buddhist monks often begin their meditations with these words. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. Then they send that wish outwards. May all beings be free from suffering, even those who have hurt me. This practice gently reshapes the heart. It shows us how to live with an open hand, not a clenched fist. And over time, something beautiful starts to unfold. You stop needing to always be right. You stop feeling the urge to defend yourself from every small threat. You stop living in a constant state of emotional protection. Instead, you move with lightness. You begin to see people not as enemies but as fellow travelers, each carrying unseen wounds, fears, and hardships. And that softens you, not in a way that makes you fragile, but in a way that makes you real, steady, peaceful. That peace begins to shine through. You realize you're no longer so reactive. The things that once upset you now drift by like passing clouds. Instead of judging, you take a breath. Instead of attacking, you try to understand. You may not always agree, but you also don't need to hate. And the peace you feel isn't only yours. It spreads. Those around you can feel it too. They feel more at ease. They lower their defenses. Your presence becomes soothing, even when you don't say a word. You turn into someone who brings calm into noisy spaces, who offers softness in a tough world. So remember this: no meditation method, no spiritual book, no breathing practice is complete without compassion, because compassion connects your mind to your heart. It's the root of peace, not just inside you, but in every place you go. Choose compassion not because it's simple, but because it sets you free, because it ends the cycle of pain, because it shows you how to love without fear and live without hate. In a world filled with noise and division, be someone who brings kindness, the one who listens, who forgives, who lifts others up. Because the strongest heart isn't the one that beats the loudest. It's the one that keeps loving when it's hardest to. That's where real peace lives, not just in your thoughts, but in how you treat yourself and others. Conclusion. Here's the truth most people never hear. Peace isn't found on a mountain. It's not waiting at the end of your achievements or hidden behind a perfect life. It's something you create, moment by moment, through each choice you make. When you choose compassion over judgment, stillness over reacting, and forgiveness over holding resentment, you're not just calming your mind, you're healing your life. And the world needs that now more than ever. Not more opinions, not more noise, but more hearts that truly understand. More people willing to respond with love, even when it's tough. That's where your real strength lies. Not in how loud you speak, but in how deeply you care. Not in how perfect your life appears, but in how calm your soul feels. So wherever you are right now, take a deep breath. Notice the stillness beneath all the noise. And remember, you're not powerless. You can choose peace. You can choose compassion. You can be the space where pain comes to rest. If this message stirred something within you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to this channel for more guidance on your inner path. Share this with someone who could use a little extra peace today. And in the comments, write this meaningful intention. I choose compassion. I choose peace. I choose freedom. Because once you make that choice, you don't just shift your day, you start to transform your life.